Hey, it's Joe Glines, another episode of what we automated with AutoHotkey this week. Switch to my desktop, use Prompt Assistant. We actually made some big updates to Prompt Assistant, but that'll come up here in a bit. We also updated this recently modified scripts. I'll show you here in a second once it starts. So it's changing my DPI, it's turning on my Do Not Disturb mode. That's interesting. Couldn't restart Get Active Path. I have to restart Get Active Path right now, so we see the notifications here, because otherwise it thinks the DPI is different. Here's my webcam reminder, which I'll move a little higher and off screen. That just reminds me that that's there, so I don't think you can see something that you can't. 31 files so far, but I think we'll have a bunch more. Whoa, I didn't expect that many. Yeah, the guy's been really busy with one of our clients. So we actually took all of their tools they had. We merged the code together, and that way the English and French are in the same one. We look at your OS system, and depending on what your OS, your operating system is, we adjust the program to that language. We merged the code together, and that way the English and French are in the same one. We look at your OS system, and depending on what your OS, your operating system is, we adjust the program to that language, and that way we don't have different executables. We also made it where the demo version, because the software is like thousands of dollars, right? It can be if you purchase multiple buttons or things. And so all of these are now into 2 executables instead of having, we had 4, but we would have had more the more languages we added to the model. The more exponentially we would have had, not exponentially, but linearly, the more versions of that executables we would have had, right? So this way now we can keep it very simple, keeps us much easier to keep the files updated, to keep the clients updated, make it easy for them to switch. So anyway, we finally got what we needed to get that done. So we got that taken care of. That makes up a lot of, it looks like Irfan's been crazy busy on that. And then Isaiah works with Jeff in the afternoons. This is all client work, so we'll get into the fun stuff. So hello, I don't know what I was doing here. Let's see. Oh, I remember now. Let's see, new file. This one, this script, and I'll share it somewhere. Is I get tired in VS Code of creating a new file new AutoHotkey file in VS Code. So what it does is I have variables here, so it'll be easy for anybody to change. What we do is I have a path where I want the default file to be, and I can hit a hotkey. In this case, it's Control-N. Notice it says, hey, if code, VS Code, or cursor are active, because of the 2 editors I use now, do this. So it'll bring up a GUI, ask me, let me see here. Well, I have to open the site. Let's go ahead and I'll keep finishing here, and then maybe I'll show you real quick. So it brings up a GUI, asks for a name, and then says okay, and then goes, submits it, and creates a file somewhere in here. This is the template file from here to here, actually down to that second quote, so I could add more. This is what would be in my template, and then it uses the file object, because we're under Dropbox, and you don't want to, if you can avoid using file append when you're having files in Dropbox, it's just safer. You don't have to worry about it locking your files. And this writes to it and creates the file for me, and then somewhere in here it edits it. Yeah, it opens it, runs, it looks at the editor we're in, and depending on which one we're in, it will tell it to go, that editor to go edit it. So let me go ahead and I'll just open cursor. I of course need to run this. So actually I was going to tell you, so I right click here, so see how I have an open folder, run, and edit? So that's what we added on this one. So I'm going to run this script. Here's my Flipper project, just to have a project open. Now I'm going to hit Control-N. It asks for my name. Give it that. I can give it an extension or without it. I had it programmable either way. Oh, it already exists. Yeah, great. Control-N. So I did some logic check there, and now it goes and opens it. So if you're using cursor or VS Code, you know it's annoying to come up here and say file new. You can create a text file, then you got to change the extension. So anyway, this is my very quick, simple way to take care of that. This video rotator, we'll get to that here in a minute. But AI interpreter, this one's really cool. I think I've demoed it. We don't share this one because or sell it even, because it's just complicated setup. But yeah, if I double click it here, and if I want to sound like Antonio Banderas, I'll switch it to Antonio, and we'll speak in, let's try a German Antonio Banderas. I think the key was insert. No, I changed it to the numpad 0 maybe? Yes, so now I'm talking and I'm going to sound like Antonio Banderas. We also changed it, so now it's going to transcribe it. It puts it up on the screen. So this has the text. Then
Jetzt spreche ich und werde klingen wie Antonio Banderas.
So it displays the text here, it displays the translation down here, and then it speaks it in the voice of the person, or whatever you've. There are all these built-in ones, and we've cloned people. So very cool tool. We were doing that during a live webinar where the people didn't speak, they weren't native English speakers, and so I could easily, they could read it or they could listen, wait another couple seconds and listen to it. So cool tool. We updated our transcribe and summarize. So now as you go through the people, it automatically jumps to the next person when you assign someone to the video part of it, which is really cool. It just speeds that process up even more. We released these check if users are admins. So, yeah, and I remember I talked about this last week, so I won't go too deep. But this is not checking if your script is an admin. This is checking if your account that you're using, the person running the script, is an admin. Because if they are admins, there's things you can do, like edit your registry, or obviously run programs in admin mode. Let's see, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that you can't do when you're not an admin. You can turn off Windows updates. You can automate changing your power levels and stuff. So we wanted to know if the account was an admin and report it back to us, because a lot of our clients, they're not technical. They don't know how to even answer the question. So this way, this should be in the log when we get it back from them, and we can understand if they are or not admins. Rotate this tool. So I was playing with different versions of it. I think we got, let's see, this one should be the one. Let me launch it. I haven't put this online yet, but you drag in a video or many videos, and you can choose whether you want to rotate it, how much you want to rotate it to the right. I need to write that. This is all to the right. And then, or you can mirror, right? Both. And then you hit render videos, and it goes and, inverts or flips or mirrors or whatever your video. Pretty cool little tool, because it's not easy to find a tool to easily do this. You can take it into an expensive editor, or not even expensive, but just like DaVinci Resolve has a free version that would do this, but it's really complicated to do. Like, you got to know what you're doing. So this tool makes it really easy and fast, relatively fast. It depends on your computer, of course, because you're re-rendering the video. But that's a cool little tool. This convert image is another cool little tool. I'll show this one. You drag in your first off, you pick the format you want. So I get a lot of pictures from AI or from online in their WebP format, which a lot of editors can't handle. So I want to convert those like to a PNG or a JPEG. So now I can drag those in here, and it will automatically convert them for me. This uses, I think, FFmpeg behind the scenes, if not ImageMagick. It's one of the two. But yeah, that's what we made some updates to Get Active Path. So now if you long hold your hotkey, it will give you open the folder instead of just. Right, so Get Active Path. This is a AutoHotkey GUI. And if I'm on AutoHotkey GUI and hit my hotkey, which is Control-Shift-C, it gets me the path to that. We look at the program and look it up. If I hold down Control-Shift-C, it then opens the folder, which opened on the other screen. But here's that folder, you can see. Right, so that's what the new functionality we added to it. Here's my webcam reminder. Let's see if I Control-Shift-C on that. I'm going to hold it down. Opens a folder, right? Because sometimes you want to be in that folder, and sometimes you just want that path. It's really great for working with Office, Word, and Excel. But yeah, there's that. The media player. This is the tool I use all day, every day. I don't remember making changes to that, but apparently we did. Plays MP3 files. It's got a lot of hotkeys in there. Prompt assistant, selected text. So we're working on. It's inspired by Jean Alon's clipboard tool, but I don't want a clipboard tool because I don't want to mess with the clipboard. I want to select text and then have a module in AutoHotkey that allows you to it will do text manipulation, right? So we're going to have a library of a lot of code examples where we uppercase, lowercase, sort them, transform the text in one way or another. And so I was messing with, I used UIA to actually come up with a way that would detect that you have selected text and put it on the clipboard using UIA instead of sending Control-C. Now, the Control-C is it reverts to it if the UIA didn't work. I also spent a good hour trying to see if I could use UIA reliably to push instead of pasting, to set the text in different programs. And I got it in some programs, but other ones, it was crashing Cite, and Cite is such a simple program. I finally said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that. It was just a fun little idea I had. Push bullet. Let's see if it should start. We need to finish it and then update it. One of our clients wanted to automate texting, and this allows you to automate texting through their API. So if you have an Android phone, it's a great way to automate texting. Here's the recent modified files, which I mentioned we made this option earlier to change the context menu. Maybe I'll have them put in some icons, or at least one to help it pop, like the folder icon. Yeah, and then Zoom chat, send text. Oh, I see. So, okay. So AI translator earlier, I mentioned to Irfan, hey, it's not terrible to have it display on the screen. That means I'm the one that has to always be sharing my screen and people can't be looking elsewhere. But we're in Zoom. How about if we also automate sending the text to the Zoom chat? And with that, we're going to need UIA in order to do that. And we've automated stuff in Zoom using UIA. It's, UIA, it's a blessing and a curse, right? But we're trying to automate sending text to that chat. Then people can have the chat auto-populated with the translation. So, somewhat quick video today on what we've automated. 144 files, but of course the vast majority is client work, because we've been, Aziz and Irfan both had kids, the last, about a month ago now. And they were off for a while. And so we were catching up on client work. So we haven't had time to kind of do other stuff. But let me know if you're enjoyed any of that, if you have any questions or anything. And thanks for watching. Like the video if you learned something. It really helps me out. Cheers.